Welcome to the most incredible marketing show ever. The show where each week a panel of respected marketing strategists, all trained and certified by the legendary Dan Kennedy, share their wisdom, experience, strategies, and insights on how to use Dan Kennedy's philosophy on business and marketing in any type of business, and that you can apply to your business immediately. Here's your host, Craig Valine.
Hello and welcome to the most incredible marketing show ever. I'm your host, Craig Valine. Welcome. And with me is my expert panel of Dan Kennedy Certified Independent Business Advisors. Hello. This is a fun show today. Today we're going to do a Q&A from member questions from Dan Kennedy students and people from our local chapters and stuff like that. And so let's get right to the content because I think it's pretty good. You know, one of the questions that I get a lot from people who say, "Why are you so excited about what you do? Why are you so happy? Why are you so, And it's because I'm passionate about what we do, and I think we all here feel the same sometimes about what we do. But the question is, how can intense enthusiasm for your business impact your business success, and what can a business owner take to cultivate this enthusiasm? That may seem like an obvious question, but Ben, let's start with you.
Yeah, I love this question, Craig. And in fact, when you were talking about like why you love these subjects in general, one of the things that Dan Kennedy style marketing gives us permission to do is kind of just blanket permission to get out there and have fun. And what I've found is that the business owners that are out there that are having fun and are the ones that then can generate the energy, and then that energy is contagious. That enthusiasm spreads to the customers, and then the customers feel it and they're excited about it. So I think, in terms of looking at the importance of enthusiasm in a business, is that if you're out there and you're looking at some marketing and it's hitting all the bullet points, it's covering all the bases, but there's not that just little extra edge to it. The edge that can both attract and repel, right? Like we've talked about this before in terms of finding your ideal client is the one that like resonates with you, and they choose you. They choose to do business with you, but they're not going to know who you are unless you're letting your personality come out in your marketing. And so if you take two businesses and one business owner is clearly enthusiastic about what they're doing, that's going to attract more interest. It's going to attract the right kind of people that are fit for that business. And then those people are going to have that contagious energy, and they're going to go, they'll tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on. So I think all other things being equal, the more enthusiasm that you can bring into what you're doing in your business, the more impact you're going to have. And also it's going to be more sustainable for you as a business owner. If it's something that you're having fun getting up every day to, if jumping on a story every day, like Steve Cypress always does, if that's your thing, then you get there and you're excited about it and you're talking to your people. If getting up every day and like finding something to complain about that the government is doing, and you're Chuck Troutman. I mean, you're out there and you're enjoying yourself because you're doing what you want to do. It's not a struggle or a grind to get out there and start generating that excitement and that marketing.
Yeah. That's good. Steve, what's your thoughts on this? You have a magnetic personality. You are magnetic or you repel, right? I think we all do, but you seem to always have a positive attitude. How do you do that?
I'm positive that I always have an attitude. Yeah, I think it was, I'm not sure, but I know I heard it from the late great Zig Ziglar, who said sales is the transfer of enthusiasm.
Right.
So if you ask me, if you're not enthusiastic about whatever you're selling, find something else to sell.
Right.
Come on now. So I have had clients over the years, and it happens to me, but clients have come to me all the time when they start implementing Dan Kennedy marketing that I help them do. And it's like a second wind is what they tell me. So they've been running their business for 20, 30 years. They're kind of bored with it. Typical marketing and advertising is all boring. It's like a business card or a brochure. Most websites or ads or anything. It's all boring. It's all the same. It's all typical. And then they start implementing Dan Kennedy marketing. And they're like, hey, now it's exciting to go into the office for the first time in a long time. Like Ben just said, now I got to not only, bring out whatever my current personality is, but I got to develop a more magnetic personality, a more outrageous personality, as Bill Glaser would say. I got to do some fun things. I got to get out there. I got to be crazy. I got to get attention. Well, that's a lot of fun, especially if you're working with someone. I highly recommend everyone. I know everyone here has, and I do, and everyone has coaches, top performers do. If you just want to, stay the same in your business, then don't get help. But if you want to grow, then of course you want to get help. And it's a lot of fun to bounce fun, outrageous Dan Kennedy marketing ideas off each other. And then something always emerges and you go, let's put that out. And when it works, it's like a cycle. Right now you put it out, it works, you get positive feedback, you make money, people are excited. Now you get even more enthusiastic, so you do even more stuff. And now the running of your business becomes something, okay, that's still dull and typical and then whatever. But man, I'm excited about the newest Dan Kennedy style marketing thing I'm going to do. That's the enthusiasm that comes through in your marketing and advertising for your business and makes you money.
That's great. That's great. Chuck, what do you think?
Well, I'm going to take a different tack and be a little shorter. I'm going to take it from the employer-employee position. If you walk into your business, woe is me, the world is against me, that body language and that attitude will permeate down to your employees, and they will be the most boring people on earth when customers come into your store if you have a retail environment of some kind. So, I'm naturally enthusiastic, just like everybody else is. But if you aren't that kind of person, fake it. Fake that enthusiasm, fake the love for your own business, and be excited. And that will show up in your employees catching that enthusiasm, and they will be enthusiastic about your business as well.
Yeah, that's funny. When I was young, when I was probably about 11 years old, maybe even younger, my father was. This is my origin story, by the way. I use this. Is my father gave my sister a $5 allowance a week, and he gave me 50 cents. And one time I figured it out, and I said, "Hey, what the heck?" And he said, "Hey, if you want to make more, then go out and earn it." And that was a challenge to me. That meaning that was a direct challenge. Go do it. And so I went out and I got a paper route, and then another one and another one. Then I mowed lawns all over our hill. Then I shoveled driveways during the snow season. I hung Christmas lights. I looked for opportunities, and that was exciting because I could make, my sister was making a measly $5 a week. I was making about 1,000 a week, so, on some days, sometimes, so, that the opportunity to make as much as I wanted, the opportunity to help people, the opportunity to be better every day, that to me was exciting, So for the small business owner listening, it's like, what gets you excited? What gets you, I can't wait for another day. And that's the thing that this Dan Kennedy style marketing does. It gives hope, right? I've been doing it wrong all along. Here's the light. Here's the way we can get through this. And as soon as they get some results, right, they get excited. So Ben, did you have something to say?
I did. I love that idea of the origin story, Craig, and I think that fits so much into Dan Kennedy style marketing, because it's not just out there and being like outrageous with things, and it's not just like trying to do that direct response style marketing, but it's about telling stories and stories that continue, and finding what your cliffhangers are from one marketing message to the next to get people engaged and to bring them into your story. So if you're a business owner out there and you haven't gone through and kind of figured out your origin story of both what gives you superpowers and maybe also what your kryptonite is, like all of these things add the elements of story and drama to what you're talking about. And so people will identify with that. They'll see themselves in you, or or family member. They'll understand your experience as you tie more into who you are and what makes you you.
One thing that you just kind of alluded to, the stories, is that nothing got me more made me more happy or got me more excited than when someone tried something from something they heard at a meeting, and then they came back the next month and said, "Damn you, Craig Valine, we were up till 4 o'clock in the morning working on this, but damn, it was awesome, it was exciting." I mean, that's like, yay, when the light bulb goes off. That's my my passion. When I see someone's light bulb go off above their head and they go, I got it, that sort of thing. So.
This episode of The Most Incredible Marketing Show Ever is sponsored by Chuck Troutman, the $600 million man. If you're looking to grow your sales and, more importantly, your profits, now is the time to work with someone who has been responsible for $600 million in sales for himself and his clients. Get your free guide, Entertain Your Way to Profits, at www.chucktroutman.com. That's www.chucktroutman.com. Now, back to the show.
So cool. Another question we get, and Steve, I think I saw you holding the book, one of the books, and we don't talk about Bill Glaser enough, and I think we should in the future episodes, but someone wrote, can you explain the concept of outrageous advertising and provide examples of how it has been effectively used by small business? And I'm going to go with you, Steve, because I think you're in one of his books, aren't you?
Yeah, that's where I got the books. I'm like, because you sent us that question in advance. I was like, gee, I know the answer to that because I have the original book by Bill Glaser himself and Kennedy's business partner. Outrageous advertising is outrageously successful. So in here right away, of course, he gives the definition of outrageous advertising. Then the entire book is just filled with examples of outrageous advertising. To answer that question, anyone that, I'm sure this is still for sale somewhere, but this is not just words here. This is all kinds of examples. Back when we first bought it, you see up in the corner here, we got the old DVD, right, with the full color examples. You can easily, as Dan and Bill teach, swipe and deploy. Just go use them, even just on the cover here. I had a client that did this one, put on a straitjacket, and he did whatever and put it in his marketing. And then, yeah, Bill came out with 2 more books. Here's examples. You want examples? Here's 2 examples. And I got a bookmark in this one because, yeah, chapter 15 in this one, there's me with my example of how I use the outrageous advertising, outrageous marketing. So outrageous, as Bill defines it, is just something that gets attention. That's must see. It's not typical, normal, boring, like I just talked about in answer to the last question. It naturally generates enthusiasm because people just go, that's outrageous. And, a fringe benefit, not only do people buy more and they stick with you more, but they will refer more. They'll tell people, hey, you got to check this guy out. And they will excitedly open and read all of your advertising and marketing. They can't wait for the next one. I've had clients, and I have clients tell me over the years, if they miss for a month, they don't get something from me, like, hey, did you mail something out the last month? Because I didn't get anything. Who does that with typical boring advertising? Who says, gee, I haven't seen a boring commercial for XYZ plumber on TV lately? But when you do it outrageously, people want to see the next one. And guess what? That means they're reading it, they're consuming it, and they're responding to it, and they're buying more stuff. So you're having more fun. You're making your money. I can't more recommend to everybody. Get outrageous instead of boring with your advertising and marketing. Have fun.
Yeah. Chuck, what's your opinion about outrageous advertising and how have you used it?
A couple of things. Dan says over and over again, the number one marketing sin is being boring. And so this gets you out of this. But I think we all remember sometime in the early days, Bill took a pilgrimage to the Middle East, and then everybody sent a postcard. He sent it to all of us, but also all of his other clients and probably the menswear customers, a postcard from with him by a camel and the dunes and all of that stuff. And of course, that got your attention right now because you didn't expect to get Bill, who we normally saw in a suit and tie, looking like he was out in the Sahara Desert, and he may have been, I don't know. But I believe how he used to say to do that, though, was to do the postcards before you leave home, have them all done before you leave home, and then you mail them from wherever you are. So I had a couple of clients after reading outrageous advertising who did similar to that. They would send a postcard from a cruise ship when they were on vacation, thinking of you, and that kind of thing. So you can do lots of cool stuff for very little money, and being outrageous at the same time.
Yeah. Ben, what's your story about outrageous advertising?
Yeah, I look at it in, yeah, you have different categories of it. You have just like the outrageous visuals, where pictures of you in, maybe with celebrities or in the straitjacket, like in that Bill Glaser cover, or whatever. You have outrageous offers that you can do where because of, like we talked about, guarantees on a recent episode, with like making very extreme guarantees on things. Anything that you're doing that like just takes it, as the old movie said, turn it up to 11 on the sound from the Spinal Tap. Like, just give anything that gives it that extra, where your office manager is questioning, like, raised eyebrows, should we really do that? Like, that's when you're on the right track, because it's something that's pushing the envelope, and it's getting that attention. So it's really, in any of your marketing, your offers that you're doing, just asking, what's that one other thing we can add that'll just like turn this up a notch, that'll get the attention. It is an area where it's like, just the value of the attention is worth taking those extra steps. That might be, not, they're going to be unconventional. It's not going to be what your competitors are doing. One great idea is just like look around and be on the lookout for outrageous advertising in other areas, or like resources like the Bill Glaser books, where you can just say, here's what somebody did over here. I can do something similar. So you don't have to like create all of these things from scratch. You can look at, what someone else is doing, or also like piggybacking on other events, right? Like, there are a lot of things in the news now you could piggyback on if you wanted to
Right.
have some headlines around, court cases or things like that, but tie it into your business. There are all these things with, your local sports teams, or with other influencers out there, that you can take and just insert yourself into the conversation, just by, kind of parodying it, or taking some sort of an angle with that.
The parrots outside my window making noise. Um, one of my clients, a former, he passed away, but his name is Dr. Brian Berg, very famous within the GKIC community with Bill and Dan. But he's in two of those volumes. He's in the original, and he's in, I think, the one with you, Steve, because he was in San Diego that last time. But he used to do, he was famous for tying into unique holidays. So, on Cinco de Mayo, he would dress up as a yeah, how do I say it, politically correct? But he dressed up with a sombrero and a poncho and everything. He would deliver
Well,
tamales to
that's the
all
whole
his
point.
recruits.
Is it's not politically correct. Politically
Yeah,
correct is
well,
not
that's the
outrageous.
point. Well, the way that I was going to say Mexican, but he was dressed up in a sombrero, and. But the point
Yeah,
being
that's
was that,
outrageous.
yeah, it is outrageous. It is outrageous. But he would deliver tamales fresh. Go down to East LA first thing in the morning, get them from this old lady, and grab all the tamales and then deliver them
Every
to.
orthodontist does that.
Yeah. And
Totally
then
outrageous.
he was on a local nonprofit board for, I think it was called Glendale Smiles, or Smiles Glendale, and they were raising money for another cause, for mothers, abused mothers who had children. So it's like, so he raised a diaper drive for them, and so he dressed up as a sumo wrestler in a diaper and took pictures of himself, and
Every professional does that.
yeah, every professional. But
Outrageous.
and I'll try to include pictures of that here for reference for anybody watching this video. But
And you have to put a warning on before the
yeah,
episode.
warning, warning, warning. Uh, anyway, but the point being, there's so many ways to stand out. And if you need ideas, get Bill's book, because the original book is still for sale, all on Amazon, volume 1, volume 2. But they're great, and there are campaigns. And Dan and Steve, that was the one you were in, right? You were in the outrageous marketing campaigns, right?
Yes, volume 2.
Multi-step
And
marketing
I got all
campaigns.
the bookmarks, the dog ears, and whatever, because that's when you're wondering what to do, instead of killing yourself to come up with something, just grab these books. I mean, whoever asked that question, I appreciate it, but does the guy have $100 or $60 or whatever? I mean, go grab these books. There's There's, a few dozen of them in this one. There's 42 of them in this one. There's however many in this one. I think you got plenty of ideas to last you for years. Just go do them.
Yeah.
So Steve, you're
Change your name
Steve,
and your phone number, put your name in your phone, and then just send these things out and
There you
watch
go.
them out.
Steve, you're so passionate about selling Bill's book. I'm wondering if you're still getting royalty checks for being in that book.
That would be outrageous.
That's funny. All right. Well, listen, one thing, just to allude to what Steve just said, if you buy the original outrageous advertising book, the other twos will come up with people who bought this book also bought these books. And so they have deals for that. So you can save 5 or 10% if you do that. Hey, look, we're running out of time. So I want to thank my expert panel here, Dan Kennedy Certified Independent Business Advisors. I want to thank you, the listener, the watcher. We show up every Thursday, new episodes. And if you're interested, you can get a free gift pack if you're listening to the show at mostincrediblemarketingshowever.com. That's mostincrediblemarketingshowever.com. Each of these panelists and several others from our other shows will offer something for free from their expertise. And listen, if you are on YouTube, watch us at Most Incredible Marketing Show. So it's YouTube/@ marketing, Most Incredible Marketing Show. Oh my God. You can see it on the screen. Anyway, thanks everybody for being here today. Thank you, my guests, for being here. Passionate, full of enthusiasm. I appreciate you all, and totally outrageous. We'll see you on the next episode. Bye now.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Most Incredible Marketing Show Ever. New episodes are available every week on Thursdays. To receive a free gift pack from our expert panelists and get access to show notes from previous episodes, be sure to visit our website, www.mostincrediblemarketingshowever.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell up in the right-hand corner to be notified of future episodes so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate you clicking the like button and leaving a comment on what big aha you got during the show. That's it for today's episode. See you next week.